a person who's been on Shark Tank, went to a HBCU, makes over $1 million from selling air fresheners. So tell me the secret right now.
I was working in marketing, but I'm just like, yo, I'm capped out. I'm making $75,000, and y'all got me in here stressing.
I really thought, like, if you're a CEO, you gotta have a Rolls Royce or a Bentley.
Commitment to your image is a fair thing, but if that commitment to the image is holding you back from actually scaling, then you too committed to your image.
We do billboards, TV ads, copy for radio. Goes crazy. We do 4.5 million in like 30 days.
People in the black business community saying that they don't have the budget to run ads on Facebook and media. Now, some of them don't. Some of them don't, Steve.
They don't got the budget,
no,
bro.
I know, but wait, no.
I never even knew a white person until I got to college.
Well, a lot of people struggle with going to first base.
Yeah.
How do I go from 0 to 10,000 a month on my Shopify store?
Yeah. Same week I got fired is the same week they hired me as a consultant.
We're teaching them a combination of tactics to actually tangibly help them scale their business.
Welcome to the Business and Bullshit podcast. I'm Steve Murray with my co-host Don Brown, and when I first thought of this concept, I wanted to uncover the secrets to growing businesses online and how to make money. So when I think of how to make money online, it's no one better than a person who's made multiple millions of dollars, that has been on Shark Tank, has went to a HBCU. And first of all, let me just say, nobody makes money from selling air fresheners. Nobody makes over $1 million from selling air fresheners. So tell me the secret right now before we do anything. How did you make $1 million+ and have Barbara from Shark Tank invest in your company as a business owner and entrepreneur?
Yeah, man, that's a great way to start it off, Steve. Yeah, so shout out to everybody. What's up, everybody? I'm Don Brown. Happy to be here with my guy, Steve, marketing guru, marketing genius. That was a great intro, so I won't give too much background there. I'll get straight into answering the question. Really, it was building a community, and I think the thing that set us apart with Ride Fresh, and continues to set us apart, is innovating in a space that didn't have any innovation. So if you think of the main competitor, the little trees that everybody knows about, when they think, as soon as you think car freshener, you think about that little tree. They weren't forced, because they had no real competition. They weren't forced to innovate or update the product.
That's true.
See what I'm saying? So we came in with a better design. We had the song lyrics about driving, but we also had the tech and convenience element of sending it to people's doorstep every month, because it's a convenience item. It's an impulse purchase.
Yeah.
So nobody remembers or puts air fresheners on their list when they go shopping. You just see it in the gas station, see it in the car wash. Oh shit, my car stinks. Let me go get that. We changed the buying behavior behind it to just have it consistently, and it was a good thing for people to have. So that's how we did it, and we, as you know, Facebook ads guru, right? We built a business and a community a lot with digital marketing and digital advertising, but it was too cheap at first. So we had to find a way.
What was your price point?
It's still relatively inexpensive, but it was, basically $5 for 2 air fresheners. But in order to be able to advertise online and make money, we had to make a subscription.
Yeah.
Because I can't,
The acquisition cost is going to be too high.
And shipping even, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like we were forced to innovate and say, how can we compete? We had a product that we felt like was better and basically created an experience for people. Yeah. It's an air freshener, but it's really a way to set people apart, which everybody wants a little something to make them unique, to make them special, Yeah. And so that's what we did. We built a community around that.
No, that's brilliant. See, this is my thing, and I wanted you to share that before we even got into the purpose of the pod, because
absolutely.
All right, first of all, there's a few things when it comes to like podcasts and business and like being black. To me, sometimes you can tell me if this is true for you right now. Do you run into like where people stigmatize you or look at you like that can't be a businessman? Because first of all, you're a 6-foot black guy with braids, and you wear jewelry.
Yeah. Rapper, athlete.
Yes,
one of the two. Maybe both.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I've been getting that my whole life. I used to get real offended by that. Like, oh, you don't think I could be a doctor? Why don't you? But then I learned to use that to my advantage, right? So instead of being like, why do you think I'm just an athlete? You know, I've been golfing a lot lately, and every single time I'm on the golf course, especially if I could drive the ball real far, and that's the first thing they said, where'd you play at, buddy? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first question I get every day. And I used to talk to my dad, like, yo, why did, and he like, son, you are 6'4", 250. You got braids, you wearing expensive clothes. Like, you look like a fucking athlete. Like, that's what they gonna think about you. But in the business world, I learned to use that to pleasantly surprise people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they just thinking it's this and this, and then it's better off for them to have that perception, because once you start articulating yourself, or once you convey business ideas and they understand you're a businessman, now it works in the reverse. Now they're more surprised. Now they're all on me because they like, oh, wow, he's intelligent. And my thing is, I can sit back and be like offended by it, but it's like, that doesn't help me. I would use it to my advantage. Exactly. You feel me? So that's the way I look at it.
See, to me, I always see like anything, like what you identified with what you and your brother did with Ride Fresh, and how when you go to the golf course, people are like, yo, he's black, he must be an athlete. I feel like those are considered white spaces, or like places where people have competitive advantages. Like Charlemagne the God always says, like black privilege, right? I look at myself and I go, my perspective growing up in black culture, growing up around, I never even knew a white person until I got to college. I swear to God. I never knew a white person until I got to college. So all of my experiences and going to the club and all of the things that are social.
And you
that
from DC.
Yeah, you know, it was Chocolate City when I'm growing up. Yeah, back then for sure. But when you're young, they say, hey, focus on your academics, right? They push you away from your social growth. But for me, I found in marketing, my social experience is a competitive advantage in business. So when people meet me and they're like, wait, I don't expect much from him, and then I over deliver, they're going, oh, wow, wait, you have a master's. Oh, you have,
Shit,
you know.
I didn't know you had a master's, bro. Congratulations. Goddamn, right?
That's when I was 24. Actually,
you ever told me
all
that?
three, me, my sister, and my brother all have masters. That's a whole nother conversation, but I always felt like, you know, that's a thing that changes the trajectory of a family for my family. Like, that's a standard now. Like, my niece and nephew do not think like it's not obtainable, right? And I think that's the same. The parallel when we go into business, right? That's why I love, like, that's what I love about you. You built a 7-figure business. You have an ad agency. You went to an HBCU, and you're hyper professional, but you look how you look. So now, when we talk about shifting culture, you have to be able to, like, professional is what people perceive. So if I don't see any judges with braids, that's not going to be professional because it's not the majority. Standard, so typically, like, professionalism is based on who and what is the majority. You know what I'm saying? So now when we get into business and bullshit and we talking about, okay, well, how do we communicate with people that, like, here's the secrets to business, here's the pitfalls to avoid as like a business owner or entrepreneur, but how do I deliver it in a way that seems realistic and relatable, and like you don't think like I'm just your homie on the block, but you feel like you're talking to the homie. Like, you gotta have somebody that's done it, and somebody that can be all encompassing, and that's what I always have felt about you. You
Absolutely,
know what I mean?
man. I appreciate that. That's why I chose to you know, do this with you as well, because I feel like we were so rare in that common space with one another, where it's like, man, like the conversations I've had with you, you know what I'm saying, about very high level business, you know, subjects and subject matter, and then the other ways that we connected, whether it's basketball, traveling, lifestyle things, and it's like, man, they don't understand that. I think, you know, part of why I want to do this, because like it's a perception out there that to be a business person or an entrepreneur, that, like you said, what professionalism is, and it's absolutely okay to be buttoned up, to know your shit, you know what I'm saying, and to be very good at what you do, but to still be yourself. And not only is it okay, I see it as an advantage in the space, However, I think some people can take that message and get misguided and think that that means that you don't have to know your shit and you don't have to actually be professional. And it's just like, show up as yourself. Like, no, it's both.
Yeah.
You got to show up as yourself, but you also should be more comfortable doing that because you've trained.
Yeah.
You've put in the work. You put in the hours. So it's like, you can't take away my validity and what I've achieved. That's what makes me comfortable being myself. I wish you would try me and ask me questions and try to treat me like I don't know what I'm talking about, because I know that ultimately that's where my confidence comes from. I know my shit. I put in this work. So you can't really make me feel, I used to be like, man, let me not wear my do-rag here, or let me not do this. And I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Like, for what? Like, your perceptions of me don't really matter until and unless we're doing business together, and then I can overcome your perceptions of me. So that's just the way I look at it, bro. And why I think this is a great opportunity for us to kind of, you know, explore this lane.
Yo, bro, that is so funny to me, because when you say people take the narrative of showing up as yourself and they take that as like,
take it too far.
They take it too far. Like you should always show up as yourself. You always should. Like, Shannon Sharp is one of my favorites of showing up as yourself. But his colloquialism or dialect does not mean he doesn't know how to construct a sentence.
Exactly.
So yes, I can, and some people like to say that as code switching. I don't see that as code switching. If the way I speak in LA is not necessarily the way I speak in DC. Like, naturally, I slur my words, but I only could do that in certain places. Like, in DC, I could slur my words because I know they understand what I mean by my tone. Like,
you're not sacrificing what your message.
Like, I'm giving you the same message, but my tone is different, or my delivery is different.
Audience.
But not even, different audience, but people misunderstand that tone has a way to communicate. Like, slur has a way to communicate something. Like, it says something. Like, your dialect communicates something.
Absolutely.
Right? So, like, I can't come to, like, a meeting where they never heard somebody say, like, what up, though? They're gonna say, what do you mean by that? Like, what did you just communicate? So language, and then especially as a person that does marketing, you're always identifying, how do I communicate a message to an audience to get them to respond the way that I want them to?
Exactly.
Right? Like,
you can't just not think about that.
You can't just not think about that. I think that's the crux of marketing. Like, how do I get people to respond and do what I want them to do? By communicating a certain way.
Right. And it's like, can you afford to do that? Right. Like, if I'm Dr. Dre, if I'm LeBron James, I can show up in the meeting like, flip flop. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. So, like you said, it's a limit to where you are and what you want out of that audience before before you decide how much you can show up as yourself. You want to be yourself, but you don't want to jeopardize. You have to be conscious of what's being thought of you, but you don't want to not be yourself, but you also don't want to blow opportunities by trying to be too comfortable. Because I know, being on the other side of business, I remember I interviewed a dude one time, and they always say be yourself in the interview. I know we got to get to the questions in a minute, but
it's in line. It's in line, because the question was tied to corporate experience.
So, like, I was interviewing a dude, right? And this is when I was at a media company. And I always...
You were working at a media company?
Yeah, I was working in marketing at a media company.
Oh.
And
what was your position?
I was a marketing director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was hiring like a marketing manager role.
Yeah.
And this dude...
Does it matter if you say the company or not?
I'm not saying the company. They know who they are. I'm not saying the company. Shout out to them, though. No free pub. CTC, cut the check. This is going to blow up. So I'm interviewing dude, right? And he had all the great, like, qualifications on paper, bro. Like, his experience matched up. He knew what he was doing. And I'm a very confident guy, so I don't get, like, thrown off by confidence. I actually like that if I got somebody working for me. But then he started taking it too far. Like, he started saying shit to me, like, he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how they say, like, oh, when you're doing an interview, you interview the company too. But he started, like, verbalizing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when I start, like, what is this going to be like? Because I need to make sure that y'all treat me right. And I'm just like, okay, that was the first one. I'm like, damn, that's a little presumptive. Like, he basically was saying, like, when I get the job. Now, that's okay to think like that internally, but why would you verbalize that to the person
on an interview
that's interviewing you. Like you just said, you taking the bid yourself too far. You forgetting the dynamics. I'm still interviewing you. And then he kept doubling down and tripling down and saying a lot of just like completely out of line, arrogant shit. To the point where when he started the interview, he was my favorite candidate. But by the time it ended, I was like, there's no way. Like he was like, well, what's my FaceTime with the CEO gonna be like? Because I need a direct connection to. I'm like, yeah, you literally talked yourself out this job. Now, if you got millions of dollars, you don't need this job, and whatever your position is, that's cool, right? But like, it's that idea of like, that's dog, funny. Like you lost complete context, like of who you were talking to, probably because somebody gave him that advice. Go in confident. You know you interviewed him too. All of that is valid, but don't take it too far to where you jeopardize an opportunity. For sure. Like, and especially with this generation under us, I'm gonna look in the camera for this. And no disrespect to them, but the Gen Zs, it's a big thing that I see with them. It's like, wait a minute, like, not that it's power dynamics, but it's also you have to respect that somebody's been on this job 15 years, 20 years ahead of you. You're not the same level as them. If you an intern, to some extent, y'all gotta act like interns, bro. That's true. We all had to do that to learn what we did to come up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
But okay, so let me ask you, what was your journey to corporate? Like, I mean, like your like, how'd you get into corporate, and then how'd you transition out?
Yeah, that's a good question, man, because I think, a lot of entrepreneurs do struggle with that, like being in a corporate position and trying to figure out the exact way to like start the entrepreneurship journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly what did you do, like in that middle space when you did take the jump. So I was in music when I first came to LA, but I always had jobs in the advertising industry. So I worked at some small agencies, then I worked at some bigger agencies that gave me kind of like a name. And then I worked at some media buying agencies that's where I learned to run Facebook ads. Shout out to my guy, Charlie T. He hired me back in.
Oh, that's how you met Charlie?
Yeah, I met Charlie working at Omnicom Media. I was working for, he gave me my first job in 2015. This is
nice.
Nobody knew about Facebook ads. So
exactly.
I had one of the first corporate jobs running Facebook ads.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I learned. And then.
For a media buying company.
Okay. Major media buying company. And then I kind of learned, I never lasted at a job more than 9 months. I was always an entrepreneur. Me and my brother started.
Wow, you was getting fired?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I just never fit in. So I always knew, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, entrepreneurship was for me.
I understand. Yeah. I'm going to tell you. Go ahead.
And so I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, I found it hard to buy in if it wasn't my company.
Yeah.
And then in situations where I did buy in, it was like, it was never reciprocated. So I'm like, every job I have where I'm like, man, I'm about to try for real. Like, I'm about to go in early, Every job where I did that, they took blatant advantage of me. So eventually
In what way? What you mean?
Just like, like, oh, he going hard, let me give him some more work. And it's no additional reward for that work. That's what it is in corporate. Yeah. Now, I was working in marketing. If I was on the stock market or something like that, like, I might have had different levels of reward for the work that I was putting in financially. But I'm just like, yo, I'm capped out. I'm making $75,000 and y'all got me in here stressing. You know what I'm saying? Losing hair when I'm 25. Like, I'm good. I don't want to do this. Like, it's not worth it. But for a lot of people that worked in there, this was the coolest thing that they're ever going to do in their life. No disrespect. I'm talking about specifically in marketing. Like,
yes.
They just I work for this
the name is
agency.
Big.
Like, their identity is rooted in that. For me, I was always doing cool shit outside of work. My boy played on the Lakers. I traveled the world. I was like, I had a whole different place I was trying to go with my life. And I knew it wasn't going to connect. And so what I did was, after that last media job, I told myself, I'm going to try as hard as I can at this job. And if it doesn't work, I'm never going back to another job again. Like, I'm like, yo, it don't matter what I got to do. I got to drive Uber. I got to work at the grocery store.
Yo.
I'm not going to speak about everything else I consider doing. Yeah. But at the end of the day, bro, I made a decision in my mind. Like,
that it was done.
That I'm done. Like, I'm not going back. Whatever I got to do, it's done. I'm not doing this. Yeah. And when you make that kind of decision, I swear to God, like your actions will fall in place. Like, when you feel like true desperation, like, listen, this gotta work because this is not an option. Yeah. Then you're gonna just naturally
a whole nother headspace.
So that's what I did. I decided, sadly, really right before the pandemic, I'm like, I'm gonna start my own agency and we're gonna get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? I had a little bridge. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I won't get into too much detail, but I had a little unemployment.
Yeah.
Actually, fuck it, bro. This is what this is about. We got to keep it real. I had unemployment for 9 months. I had a 9-month window to make it shake.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
You had bread saved up?
I had some bread saved up, but I never was great at saving money. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't have like real bread saved up. No, I didn't. I'm gonna keep it real. I had a few racks.
Yeah.
I had a few racks, bro. Yeah. And for me, that can go in 2 weeks. That's gone in a week. So it wasn't like I had bread like I'm gonna jump away from corporate.
LA, you over with.
That's a week.
You over with.
You got no real money. So I was like on the edge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I made a decision. You know what I mean? That like in that 9 months, I gotta get it cracking because I'm not going back.
Yeah.
My thing was I need enough clients. At first, I was just trying to make $5 to $7K a month in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what I was after, and then started building and building from there. And that's what I've been fortunate enough to at least be able to live off the agency since then. And then with Ride Fresh, that's like the home run hitter. Hopefully we get to sell that relatively soon.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
No, that's so funny, bro. Because listen, all right. So for me, my senior year of football, this is like 2012 or something like that. First I played at Northeastern University. They dropped their program, got re-recruited, ended up at Lamar University. I stayed at Lamar for like 4 years, finish my undergrad and then do my master's. But when I'm done my Northeastern, we had 4 credit classes. So I had more credits than I needed by the time I got to my senior year. And I ended up breaking my elbow. So I had like 1 class my senior year and all I was doing was playing football. So I had like a ton of free time. So I go to this, they always put these conferences on for athletes. In the conference, it's like Fox, media, like 3 or 4 credit unions,
Like
enterprise.
Okay.
But it was just for athletes only. They always do like exclusive events for athletes. Athletes have like the greatest advantage in colleges. We have the best resources at our disposal if you want them. So every person on the panel kept saying, you gotta find a mentor, you gotta find a mentor, you gotta find a mentor. My number one question I asked every person that said that, how do you find a mentor? Nobody had an answer. They just were like, you just
find them.
Like, bro, I'm 21 years old. What does that mean? Like, find them where? Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, the CEO of a credit union comes up to me afterwards. He's like, yo, I can help you out. Like, we got opening in our marketing department. Come, boom. I started working there while I'm playing football my senior year, day 1.
Like full time?
Basically.
Yeah.
Like, I was only taking 1 class in school. So I had, like, I literally just played football and worked. Yeah. It was like the best, like, bro, I'm on full scholarship. Everything's covered. What? Like, it was the easiest life ever.
I bet that was fun.
And you know, like, bro, when you play sports, you like it's ways to get bread. Like you could like you get checks.
Yeah. This
Like,
before NIL did.
This is before NIL. Like I never not had money. I was like a kid that always had money. Like always. Like it's anyway. I go into the credit union the very first day. I'm thrown into like a campaign that they're trying to run, this BOGO concept where we were developing. You know how you do buy one get one free from a credit union? I mean, from a mall. Yeah. We took that same concept and applied it to loans. So we did like buy one get one free. I mean, get one like 50% off. So you buy a loan at the full interest rate, let's say 6%. You could get a second loan for something else, like a car or a house or personal loan, credit card, a 50% off interest rate. So if you got if it's supposed to be 4%, you'll get it for 2%. So that was like huge. It was a brilliant concept that like we took a fashion concept and applied it to loans. It was so good. I had to solve this design problem because my background was graphic design, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, we do billboards, TV ads, like we're doing like copy for radio. Goes crazy. We do 4.5 million in like 30 days, right? It's a record for the credit union at the time. Second campaign, we do a Get in the Black campaign for credit cards, whatever like that. This is all while I'm in college. Boom. Knock that one out the park. We do like 5.5 million in like 30, 45 days, right? I'm like, so then we do a third campaign. I forget what the third campaign was. Third campaign, like 4 to 5 million again, another record. I asked the lady who ended up being like one of my mentors, I'm like, yo, is this normal? I don't know, I have no clue.
Yeah,
this is my first corporate
Yeah,
experience,
you
right?
dream.
She's like, if you mean, does this happen all the time? You can't break records every single time. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, boom. I stayed there like a couple more years, get my master's, moved to LA. Had $1,000 saved. Didn't care. I'm out. I already know because I had already been traveling back and forth to LA, but by the time I got to my master's, now I'm in a different place. So like I paid for my master's cash. You know what I'm saying?
You getting it.
So when it's time to go, I'm not waiting. You just got to jump on the train.
Yeah.
And I had like contacts at Revolt TV and all types of stuff. So I'm like, I'll figure it out. I'm already placing that bet. And that's the thing about like, when you're talking about business and entrepreneurship, you got to place the bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Like you got to.
At some point.
You got to place a bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You cannot, like you can't say I want and not place a bet on what you want.
Yeah.
You got to place a bet.
Yeah.
Long story short, boom, come to LA. I'm working with the Laugh Factory of Hollywood. That's the first place I worked when I got here. Now, when you talk about like, I like that place, but I started doing Facebook ads while I was at the credit union, and like everything switches to digital, but I also was doing like traditional. Boom, we get here, the brand is much bigger than the money, okay? It wasn't worth the money at all. So just like when you said you got fired, you kept getting fired.
Yeah.
I worked at the Laugh Factory like 3 months, got fired. Boom.
You was doing marketing for them?
Yes, but I was so used to working with bigger budgets. My first campaigns at 22, 23, I had like multi-million-dollar budgets. Yeah. So it wasn't making sense for me. I come to a place and I got like $100,000 budget for a year. Yeah. What am I gonna do with that? I don't what am I supposed to do with this? This doesn't make sense for me. And I got this experience in my bag now, and I got master. So I'm going, yo, I know y'all think I'm young, and you think I'm like, but I'm not like y'all. Like I'm just not. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm coming late every day, but I'm coming late every day because I'm living in Thousand Oaks. It's 2 hours traffic to get from Thousand Oaks to the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. It's LA, 45 miles, bro. You're never getting out of traffic, ever. Yeah. You're never gonna get out of traffic. Yeah. So. Boom. Long story short, I end up getting fired. The same week I got fired is the same week they hired me as a consultant. Wow. That's how I started consulting and like building my business. Yes, because he gave me the biggest blessing. He was like, bro, you're nice at what you do, but I see how you function. This is not a good fit for you. Mm-hmm. It's just not. I started building my business.
Right there.
Right there. I did end up going back, getting a job like maybe 4 or 5 years later, but it was with great purpose. And I always tell people the best place to learn about business is within a business. Because if you're inside of a business that's scaled, they have all the systems in place. Yeah. So now when I went back to work, it was so in alignment with everything that I was doing on my business, and they didn't care about me getting clients and stuff like that. They were like, no, use this to your advantage. You got a platform. Now you could really build, and they let me do it. And then now me and the CEO every single day, can you tell me what's good that, what's bad that, what's good business credit, what's bad business credit, how do you scale? Okay, can I practice this? I use it as a testing ground. I didn't have to use my own money to learn how to scale a business.
That's perfect, man. And that's a good transition, too, because I actually had a conversation with somebody recently about that, and they told me the exact same thing, that literally they had a job, and the company they worked for, they knew that person was good at what they did, but it wasn't a good fit. And he literally said the same thing, like they hired me as a consultant, paying him double. And he was like, oh, I'm never going to work for anybody again after that. So Shout out to you, man, on that journey, and shout out to you for having the foresight to come out. A lot of people can't make that jump and take that bet on themselves. And I tell people that all the time. You absolutely right about that, bro. Like, you have to be willing. It's not going to be perfectly planned out for you, right? Unless you're super rich already, in which case, don't even be an entrepreneur. Just live however you already was living since you got it. Like, to be honest. No, for real. Like, it's not ever going to be like, all right, we're going to do this, and it all works out. But that's a good transition, man, into kind of this next segment. We talk about building teams. And you know, a lot of the questions that I get from a lot of people and students in the Launchpad in our academy and community is about team building, right?
Yeah.
And so I know
but tell them what the Launchpad is, because I mean, if you introduce
it. Well, here we go.
You got a shameless plug. You got a shameless plug.
Okay, got you. So the Longtail Launchpad is a one-of-a-kind course and community where we come together to teach entrepreneurs, e-commerce entrepreneurs specifically, how to scale and grow businesses. So we help, you know, a lot of people struggle with going to first base.
Yeah.
Like, how do I go from 0 to 10,000 a month on my Shopify store?
Yeah, facts.
Right. And so, you know, marketing guru, right? Like, we're teaching them a combination of tactics to actually tangibly help them scale their business, not just like empty tutorials and ideas that's just like what they should do. You should try this and do this. It's an actual program, right? Like, and then it's a community behind it where we have people like yourself, a lot of other entrepreneurs and like-minded, very experienced business people come in once a week and help answer questions and give knowledge, right? And so it's a support community as well as just a course. I didn't want to make just a course where it's like, here's the program. Yeah. And then the difference with the Launchpad as well is that every one of our community members gets access to me directly. So like, I'm working with you one-on-one to make sure that you applying these tactics that
like they get their own direct marketing director.
Exactly.
For cheap.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be like that forever. But moving through this, because I know we should a little shorter on time. Just talking about building teams, man. I know you talked about having mentors and having, you know, people in your career or your journey that saw talent in you and changed the relationship with how you were on the team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I know that a lot of times, especially black entrepreneurs, when we think of like working with a team, it's like, all right, like we all gonna start a business and be founders in the business together, like versus, hey, Steve is a great graphic designer. What I'm gonna do is collaborate with him to hire him to do this design to help me start my business. But I don't think it's a great fit for us to be, you know, co-founders or owners of the business. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of us, you know, in tighter circles, we want to start businesses and do business with our friends. You know what I'm saying? So what is Steve's opinion on starting and or doing business with friends?
I love working with people that I connect with. Right? I love working with people that I have synergy with, especially in the creative space. Yeah. So, you know, I don't mind the friendship thing. What I think is just like what we talked about earlier as far as the nature of relationships, there has to be a clear understanding of expectation and boundaries and roles. Yes. Right? Because everybody has to be clear on what the objectives are as well. Because you can't just, everybody is not, it's not about, when you're talking about team, it's not about who's at the head. It's about what's the objective, and the objective has to be at the head. Now, who's contributing? And now we got to put these pieces together. And if you have someone who understands structure, it's easy to work with them. Now, if you have people who don't necessarily have structure, it's hard to collaborate with them. Like LeBron James, I love what he did with his team. Because when you look at Rich Paul or the other guys that he's partnered with, they all have corporate work experience. Yeah. They all have, like...
He made him go get that, too.
Yes, like Rich Paul was at Nike, he was at CAA, and it gave, I can't speak for Rich Paul, but I would imagine it gave him structure.
Absolutely.
And that's why I say there's no place better to learn a business than an actual business. Like, you can't just be in an office and not collect the data that they have, because they have more data than you'll ever have as a solo entrepreneur. Now, once you get that structure, you can apply it to whatever team that you're on. Now, if a person doesn't have that experience and they're just like coming off I'm a hustler, I get money, and like you run into that sometimes when you are like have the ability to build a team with whoever. Sometimes it's your family member, sometimes it's your friends, sometimes it's whoever. If they don't have that structure and discipline, no. It's no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you know, and the reason I asked that question is because I see a lot of people like when they start businesses, it's like, you know, we're communal people. Black people are. So we like for everybody that, well, we gonna do this all together and we gonna lock in and me and my boy gonna start this. And then 6 months later, it's like, man, no, right? And I've experienced that as well. So like when people ask me, I'm just like, similar to you, I'm like, you gotta think about the friend and the business. And if it's a good fit, sure. I got one of my best friends, you met him actually, like that's one of my closest friends and we do a lot of business together. But we only do that because, like you said, we got synergy in those areas that it's not going to jeopardize the friendship. You know, and to that same tune, I've lost friendships and family relationships and a lot of things just because we weren't aligned. And then sometimes people don't have the ability to walk away amicably or still be cool. I'm a person that's like, look, if me and Steve podcast don't work out tomorrow, that's still gonna be my man's. Like, it's no reason for me to beef with him, like, unless he try to steal from me or did something bad. Sometimes business doesn't work. And if you are gonna do business with friends, you need to make sure that y'all have that understanding with each other.
Most business doesn't work.
Exactly. Like, you need to have that understanding that's like, listen, like, this isn't gonna jeopardize our actual friendship, however this goes. If we make millions of dollars and go down, we need to be able to, in any sense, like one of my other founders, you know, is one of my best friends to this day, and he walked away from the business. And we're still friends, very close friends, and we still do other business together. And I think that sometimes trying to jump too far too early with the wrong people is how you end up, you know, losing relationships, and it ain't worth it. Y'all didn't even make no money together. The business failed, and you lost a friend. It's like, bro, it wasn't worth it. So think about how, you know, my answer to that is think about friends and family for real. Like, think about how you're collaborating with these people. And if this is the type of person that, like you said, is a synergy there, can we work together? And if we don't, like, is it going to be a big deal? You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, it ain't worth falling out over zero money. So that's my answer to most people, because a lot of people have been asking me that. You know, and just think about who you jumping in that bed with. You know what I'm saying?
Here's, you know, you said we're communal people, like black people are communal people. I think sometimes when you've been, what's it called? Suppressed? Is that the word?
Traumatized,
suppressed, held down by the man, whatever you want to say.
All that shit.
Anytime you deal with a community that's dealt with poverty for a long time, and you have a community of people that have been in poverty, I think you always have this idea that whoever is first will be the guy or woman that saves everybody. So you always want to bring everybody up with you.
Yeah.
But the truth is, the point that you have to be at to help others, most people don't realize how high that point is. A person will say, you make 6 figures now, you can help me. You make $250,000 now, you can help me. And if and when a person hits those points, most people that I know where we've had discussions, that level is not the level that allows you to have the freedom that you believe that you would have when you were at a level significantly lower than that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It just looked like it was a lot higher than it was.
Yeah.
And in reality, you ain't in the league yet.
Yeah. So when so you get to that level and everybody's looking at you, you're not helping. This is not even the level to help at yet.
Yeah.
This is not the level to pick people up at. That's a common mistake people make. You're not at the level that you think you at.
Yeah.
Until you get there, you're not gonna know that, but you're dealing with a group of people that, so a lot of people always, when you come from nothing or come from a little bit, I should say, a lot looks like a lot until you have it.
Yeah.
Then you be like, oh, I gotta change my goals.
Nah, bro, I feel that. And I think another thing with that is too, like, before we move on too, is like, you absolutely right, bro. And it's like, what is help? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does help look like? Because I feel like the closer I am or the lower I am, the more I need whoever I'm helping to be closer to my level. Like, it can only be, LeBron can help whoever right now. He can help, if you have no work ethic, if you have nothing, he could just say, I'm going to put you in position, I'm going to pay everything, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to work hard for anything. But if I'm making $250 and my business is doing okay, and right now, like, I'm gonna need, if I help, my version of help might be like, hey, Steve, look, this is my business. I need help making content, but I'm gonna give you part ownership or something. But I'm gonna need whoever I'm helping at that time to already be grinded, already be in alignment and be bringing value. The thing is, you're not like, I agree with what you're saying, because even I've gone through that. People think I'm not making enough money to just subsidize somebody's life, bro. Like, I'm not, it ain't that. So like, you got to bring value. You got to bring some money to the table. You got to be bringing something to the operation. Now I can provide opportunity, which I like to do through my agency. And it's like, okay, we got this contract. We need a videographer. We need a producer. We need a graphic designer. These are people that are working with me, though. Like,
they're services.
They're
services.
It's like, it's help in the form of an opportunity, but
it's help, but it comes within the budget too, though. That's in the budget.
Right.
Now, you don't got nothing that I could sell. That ain't in the budget.
Exactly. We ain't getting it like that yet.
Profit from that.
You're helping me. It's the transaction, but it's still an opportunity. You know, shout out my guy Roger. Like, I need a photo shoot. I need to do a photo shoot. I need a space. This man has a wonderful space in downtown LA. You know what I'm saying? That is beautiful. We're gonna tag it in here. What's the name, Roger? The Audrey. Shout out to the Audrey. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful space where I did the photo shoot. Is he gonna help me because that's my friend? Sure. But like, value. You know what I'm saying? Something of exchange.
Value
exactly.
Exchange.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing about, because people look for help. It's like, no, I can't.
Yo, can I talk about some bullshit real quick?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
So,
this is Business and Bullshit.
Okay, so here's the thing that's funny. Like I follow this girl. I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it.
It's cool. It's the bullshit segment. Don't hold back.
I follow this girl named Sarah, right?
Oh,
Sarah's
Sarah's
the homie, right?
Okay.
Sarah's the homie.
Okay.
Her whole podcast is called It's Giving. It's all about like relationships and finding love and everything about like men and what they need to provide and women and it's one of those. So to me, here's what's interesting about what we're saying. Like, I saw this thing and it was like, yo, you know, men in relationships don't look forward to finding out that they are in love because it becomes another job that you gotta like contribute, protect, and provide. So now if you find out you're in love, you're like, oh, shit.
I saw that.
You know what I mean? Like, wait, I want to get to a higher level before I start helping this person I'm in love with, because I want to be like flying. I want to think about my choices in a relationship perspective. I want to go where I need to go. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a helper mate that can help you get there, or like a value exchange, just like in business, like, cause to me, I think your relationship is closely connected to business, because that's where you spend the most time with.
Especially as an entrepreneur.
It's not really gonna work like that. Because if we do the math, like I see, like, you know, people will go 6 figures, bro. $100,000. Respectfully, how does $100,000? If you said that's taking care of 2 people, where?
Not outside here in Los Angeles, California, where this podcast is
not
filmed.
in LA.
No, he's not gonna cut it.
No.
Well, it can if you live extremely frugally.
Where?
Yeah,
Well,
if you live extremely frugally. It could if you live extremely frugally.
No,
but that's the thing that
it's not.
nobody's doing that.
Let's go 25% to taxes.
Yeah.
Boom, 100K is now knocked down to
it's not happening. It's not
75K. All right, what you gonna? Okay, your crib is gonna cost 30K.
Yeah.
All right, well, you just knock 75 to 30. That's 45 left.
It's not happening.
You gotta
Oodles
buy.
and noodles,
Wait,
yeah, like, you
your
gotta-
groceries
yeah.
is 12 and a half.
Yeah.
All right, so where we at now?
Yeah.
30? No, wait, 28 and some change. Okay, what kind of car you got?
Yeah.
Because, all right, so let's say another 7.5.
It's not happening.
Bro, okay, so how you say, bro, that's not, come on, bro.
It's not.
You gotta, that's not, it's just not.
It's not realistic.
Right.
Well, since we started with the bullshit, because you know what we like
I'm
to
just
do.
saying.
No, for real. I mean, what we like to do is be relatable, be authentic. You know what I'm saying? Give people advice and gems and learning, but also do it in a way where we can have fun. You know what I'm saying? And we can
Yeah.
just, because I think one of the things that brought both of us here is like, man, you know, entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs of color, like you said in the top, man, we deserve to be ourselves. And a lot of business, we were talking earlier, a lot of business gets done when you are just having bullshit conversations.
True.
And it's not like, let's sit down and have a, like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like we just kicking it, and then it could be like an idea exchange, because that's the way conversation is.
Yeah.
So, speaking of business things that sort of, you know, rub you the wrong way, or we call this the that's some bullshit, right? What's something that you experience or something that you want to vent about from a business standpoint that you feel like is some bullshit?
Well, let me say this. I wouldn't even say I would vent about something. You know why? Every business has complications. Being an entrepreneur or a business owner or even a supervisor, any executive level or management level and above deals with problem solving. When you solve people's problems for a living, expect it to be some bullshit within it. And the biggest challenges you typically run into, I've typically run into, my peers have typically run into, the things we discuss, is usually dealing with people management and managing expectations. So I never look at what someone else is doing to really complain. I try my best, and it doesn't always go like this, but I genuinely try my best to reflect on what choice could I have made to make this easier for myself. Because when you go into, like, with Facebook ads, the number one issue that we see is return on ad spend not matching client expectation. If you're dealing with like a client that's making money, but their ad spend inside of Facebook Ads Manager is showing a low return on ad spend, right?
That's a bold one.
And now you have to, but now you could say, of course, there's impact over ROA and how, like, when you spend money, your overall revenue is increasing, just like television ads, Facebook ads. If you reach people, people make buying decisions. Them seeing you as a consideration moves them from awareness consideration down the marketing pipeline to purchase, right? I have to set that expectation in the beginning that this isn't advertising isn't like a magic trick. Now, how did I learn that? Because I went into a situation without setting that expectation. So my reflection is always like internal, because I know I'm the high level executive. I'm the management supervisor, and they're looking at me for answers. So usually, like, that's my perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, there's some bullshit that happen in business, but like, to answer that question, that's, you know what I mean?
No, I get that, and I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I like to look internally, but I got some shit I want to get off my chest.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Cause yeah, I mean, and that's deep what you said. I actually just told my business partner that the other day. Like, we're the agency, so we lead the narrative. We
Yeah.
have to educate them. The answer, if they want to do something that's out of budget, is not no. It's yes, we can do that. Here's what it's going to cost you, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
can let you, the client, tell me, can you afford to do what you said you wanted to do? You can tell me what you want to do.
Facts.
I can do it. But his thing is like, why they asking for this? They know that's not, but I'm like you just said, nah, we don't get emotional about this anymore. We let them know, yeah, we can always do the extras, but the extras cost extra. Like, that's just what it is. And they can make a decision. They can make a decision about what they want to do, but I'm just, like you said, leading the narrative, always keeping it in context that we can do it. But although I do like to look internally, I got some messages that I want to get out there that I think is some bullshit, if y'all don't mind. The first thing is, and I've been dealing with this for years, right, is specifically in our community of Black business owners, is this idea that a lot of y'all have that you don't have the money to run ads, or you don't have the budget to run ads, right?
Is this shoe in frame?
I'm sorry, let me put that.
Is this shoe in frame? All right.
All right.
What about when it's extended? He good? All right.
So The thing that's honestly like frustrates me a little bit is people in the black business community saying that they don't have the budget to run ads
They
on
don't.
Facebook and media. Now, some of them don't. Some of them don't, Steve.
They don't got the budget,
No,
bro.
I know,
Relax.
but wait. No. But listen, though, listen.
Y'all niggas got the budget? No.
You might not have a corporate budget, right? But here's my thing, though. If I say, hey, look, you should spend 2 to 3K a month.
Okay.
And your business is making 10, 12, 15, and you're taking the profits from that business and you're taking trips to Tulum, and I'm looking at your wardrobe and you're wearing Prada, you're wearing Balenciaga, you drive a 6-figure vehicle, you're doing this with proceeds from your business, right? So I think with a lot of us, it's the way that we look at, they looking at that 5 to 7K that they making from profit as untouchable, because I gotta have the bag, I gotta have the trips, I gotta have the drip, I gotta have all this because I'm a business owner. When the business owners in these other communities, even when they making 10, 15, 20K a month, they looking at it like you said earlier with finances. I'm not there yet. I don't need to spend none of this money to flex because I ain't got it like that. But with us, it's like, well, you telling me you ain't got the money, that's because you taking $7,000 a month to live.
Okay.
And it's like, yo, wait, you do have the money though. That's some bullshit. Because you do have the money, your priorities are just fucked up. You don't have the money to reinvest in your business, and you wonder why you can't pass a $200,000, $300,000 a year threshold.
Okay, but if a person runs a business and they want to have client acquisition, let's be honest. It's sometimes for black people, it's harder for them to like gain trust out the gate without having the things. Now, for me, I don't subscribe to that, but if they don't look a certain way, people don't believe it because you go, like you went to college, you worked at big agencies, so your substance is internal. You don't got that battle. But if you don't have that, right, and you gotta make people believe you, and it's not cool to say, look at my Shopify.
See, but that's the problem though, Steve. And I'm glad you brought that shit up because you're absolutely right. But what back? So this is the question.
My Shopify store though.
I mean, this is so important, and I'm so glad you brought this up, bro, because that's the question, right? Like, what do you value as a business owner? Is it that you value the perception of doing well? Or do you value actually fucking doing well? Like, you really got to think about this. The only thing that's motivating you to do that is the perception of other people. So what you really want is the perception of being a successful business owner, not actually being a successful business owner. So it's cool, but then you just have to realize this is where I'm gonna cap out.
Excuse me.
Because I actually value the perception of other people, of me as a business owner, over actually fucking being successful. So just living where you at and stay capped and be in the G Leagues.
Okay. So Aristotle, you know Aristotle Investments?
Yeah.
Okay, Aristotle, he's young, 26-year-old. Shout out Aristotle, that's my boy. He said, you can't be a business owner that's successful and not have a watch. Right? Now, when he says a watch, he doesn't mean a watch, he means
a nice one.
A $10,000 or above watch, right? Now, I have my thoughts on this, and I have my own perception on it. I'm not gonna get into it, but to a degree, I completely understand what he's saying. He said, "Oh, I'm not gonna trust you that you can help my business because I don't even think that you at that level."
But for you to evaluate who's at what level, and I get it, it does matter.
Right.
Here's the thing.
So wait, does their image that they're trying to paint get them into rooms that advances their business?
You ain't getting the money yet. So that's what I'm saying.
They trying to create the perception to get there.
The perception alone is not gonna fucking get you there.
They got a little Shopify. With the perception,
but your idea of who you are, and it does contribute. I had this conversation with my boy the other day.
Okay.
Because, like, if you got the Rolex, if you got the this, that, and I think it's a little different with men too, but obviously with women, with people, and black people in general. But I'm not saying it doesn't.
Rolexes are cheap.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It does contribute. My thing is, allow it to contribute, but you should at least get to a level where it's not jeopardizing or limiting you from a business. Like your commitment to your image is a fair thing, that it contributes to your business.
Uh-huh.
But if that commitment to the image is holding you back from doing actual business and actually scaling, then you too fucking committed to your image. That's just what it is. Like you so committed, like I gotta have this, but I'm not gonna grow my business. Then you gotta. That's my point. Like you right. Yeah, I'm serious. Okay, yeah, sure. Then I guess if you're not making enough money to get the Rolex and pay for your Facebook ads, then you ain't getting enough money. Then you need to live with that. See, what we do is overreach too fucking early and try to look like a millionaire when you only making 200,000. Live in where you at. Humble your fucking self. And you'll get to the point where it's like, yeah, I got the rollie and this and that and the third, but reinvest in the business, bro. That's what's gonna get you there.
But okay, let me ask you this. If a person has the money to buy it, can't they afford it?
No. Like, no, I could right now today go out and technically I could afford a very probably like a Bentley car note. I could afford that right now.
Right.
Right? Like what you can afford should include the budget and the cost necessary to run and grow your fucking business, bro. Like it shouldn't be a higher priority for you to flex. And then your Shopify is stuck at where it is. Like I wouldn't sleep well with that. Cause Steve know I got a rollie, like, oh wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my perspective on it.
But that I agree. Listen, what you could pay for is not the same thing as what you could afford.
Exactly.
You could pay for a lot. I could pay for a lot.
A lot.
What I could pay for is not what I could afford based on where I want to go.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. If you cool being right here, then just flex. Be like, yo, I don't really need to grow it. I'm good with what I got. I wanted to, support my lifestyle, and that's what I'm honest with all my clients about. I'm like, listen, you don't have to want to go to the next level. You just need to be honest with yourself about what it is you want. If all you want to do is take a couple trips, wear enough designer, your business is making enough to support that, go ahead and stay at that level, but just don't try to move or have expectations of somebody that's trying to get to the next level. It's almost like a dude in sports. It's like, man, he's got natural talent, but he just don't want to work to get to the next level. His natural talent might get him to the league. He might be a mediocre player in the league.
Yeah.
But if you want to, don't say you want to be an all-star and it's like, man, he don't want to eat right, he don't want to practice. Like, bro, then you don't want to be a fucking all-star. You just want to sit where you are. And maybe where you are is good enough for you. Just accept that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The 3 CEOs that I've met that I've gained the most information from, they never had material. Like, they had a lot of assets though, but they never were like materialistic. Like I met, the first one is this guy named Jim Lackey. He was the CEO of the credit union. So they had 300 million in assets. And when I got there, this is when I was in college, to shape my perspective forever. First thing he said was, I was like, oh, I was looking for the CEO. Where's the Rolls Royce? I thought it was a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. I swear to goodness, I was not telling a joke. I really thought, like, if you're a CEO, you gotta have a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. I promise you. Everybody thought I was telling a joke. That's how ignorant I was, though. I was like, oh, where's the Bentley? Ain't no Bentley there's no CEO here.
Yeah.
He was dying laughing. He was like, well, the 1997 Explorer is mine, but I mean, it still runs good. I probably could get another 70,000 miles out of it. Dead serious.
Dead serious.
He thought I was joking.
Yeah.
I wasn't joking. I was looking for Rick Ross. I was not joking. I was dead serious. Yeah. Next one, boom, come to LA, boom, boom, boom. Well, actually, Jamie from the Laugh Factory, who had seven clubs, he was driving a Prius. Looked like, if you see him on the street, he looked like a everyday guy. Next guy, boom, met a ton more, obviously. But my favorite was this guy named Derek Belay. He's a co-founder of a company called King Ice, which I worked with him for like 4 or 5 years or something like that. But when I met him, he was like, now when I met him, I was driving like I met him in 2016. I had like a 2016 C-Class. It wasn't nothing crazy, like 45,000 or something like that. And he was like, wow, you got a Merc? I was like, you make way more money than me. He was like, nah, I can't afford that right now. He gave me that was the first conversation we had. He was driving a Camry.
Yeah.
He was already a millionaire.
Yeah.
He was trying to say he plans where his money is going to go because he's investing in growth. So if he's investing in growth, he's not interested in material at the moment, and he'll get there. You know what I mean? He didn't get his first nice car, what people would consider as nice, until 4 years after I met him, and respectfully, all he bought was a Tesla Model S, 77,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was a millionaire, multi-millionaire. And he said to me, I mean, I guess I can afford it now, but I'm not sure. And he was talking about a band a month.
Yeah.
Feel me? But he was that conscious of his buying decisions. Now, did he have stock? Absolutely. Did he have crypto? Absolutely. Did he have property? Absolutely. Did he own the building that the company was renting? He was all about asset acquisition. Yeah. He did not, man, you see this dude, you wouldn't even, like, the clothes he wear a uniform to work.
Yeah.
Same 5 outfits every day. He not worried. Dude was rich, bro. Yeah. And he never act like he knew stuff. He always would ask questions. So what do you think? Only thing he focused on was finding information, asking the right questions, and getting to the solution with somebody else solving the problem. I thought that was the most brilliant thing I ever seen in my life.
And it is. And before we move on, bro, like, honestly, I will say vulnerably, I still struggle with that. So I don't want to say like I know it all or I'm being judgmental, because I'm 34, been doing business for pretty much my whole life, but full time for 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I still struggle with, managing my finances and investing versus like, what do I not need? Like, I'll never be, because I'm about experiences. You know what I'm saying? I'll trick on experiences. Like, I'm not big into the material stuff anymore. I was when I was younger.
What's experiences, women?
We ain't talking about that bullshit.
The sky.
We ain't talking about that. But I'm saying that to say, like, I'm not like a complete frugal, like, yo, I don't spend no money. I know people that don't spend no money on nothing. My thing is, if I die tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you're not planning to die, so why you spending like you are?
Well, no, I'm not planning to, but I'm also not gonna completely limit myself from life experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can I'm not gonna wait till I'm 65 to have some fun around this bitch, bro. Like, we gotta live a little bit. Like, I work too hard not to enjoy it while I'm on the ride. So I'm not totally like lock down every dollar. The older I get, the more responsible I get. I'm getting closer to that. You know what I'm saying? But it's about balance. But speaking of balance, you know what I'm saying, before we get up out of here, we like to leave the people with some gems.
Yeah,
right?
We gotta give them something.
Yeah, we want the people to learn. We want y'all to laugh. We want y'all to be relatable with us and tell stories, but we also want you to learn. So just before we get into this, and I know Steve gave me an intro, but you know what I'm saying, you definitely, when you come to talk to us and chill with us, man, you're dealing with two people. You know what I'm saying? We're going to toot our own horns a little bit here, who are experts, absolute experts in the digital marketing, the marketing space in general, but the digital marketing space specifically. Over $100 million of ad spend between the two of us, maybe even more than that, right? And so when it comes to all things digital marketing, Facebook ads, email marketing, branding, content creation, social media, the list goes on, right? Steve and myself have a lot of experience, and we never want to leave one of the episodes without leaving y'all with some gems and some information that you could take and use in your business. So, Steve, I want to open it up for you, man, to talk about something that's a digital spotlight that the people could walk away with and use in their e-commerce businesses or in their brands.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll give you two. I think right now, where we are in the digital ad space, it's all about content creation and user-generated content. User-generated content has been leading Facebook conversion ads for the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. There's a software that I use. I can't name the software.
Because they ain't cut no check.
Yeah. I can't name the software because it's proprietary anyway, and I can't name the software, but there's softwares that marketers use behind the scenes to see who's spending what. Mm-hmm. And how much they're spending, and
like what brands are spending on ads.
Yeah, okay. I can see any brand exactly how much money they're spending, and what are the best creatives. Mm-hmm. For the last, I'm saying that to qualify this statement. The last 2 years, user-generated content has been the top converting ads for almost every brand across every industry. If you don't know what user-generated ads are, it's typically iPhone content, stuff that you see where it's, hey, I'm walking down the street, I just came across this brand, I love it, boom, 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 we're gonna walk in here today, and this, that, and that, right? Like, all of that is great. Now, with that, there's also a shift into AI. AI is leading the charge into all content creation. So there's softwares like Descript. I love Descript right now. Descript allows you to use studio sound, so you could record ads or social media content with your phone, upload it to Descript, make it sound like you're in the studio. It removes all the background noise and all the white noise out of your videos in a single click. There's also AI software called Opus Clips, which takes long format content, cuts it into short form content for your social media or your YouTube in a single click, and it adds closed captions to your content as well. And then, of course, in Facebook advertising, which is where you want to take all of your quality content and run ads on, the updated algorithm has broad targeting, which you don't necessarily have to build interest-based audiences anymore. So you can literally upload your content, put no settings in, literally leave 18 to 65 wide open, no interest, run your ads and let your content lead your actual ad process. That's probably the top 2 to 3 things that are happening in the digital marketing space. It's AI, user-generated content, and broad targeting on Facebook ads. And then, of course, that actually applies, the broad targeting applies to TikTok as well, because TikTok's algorithm is really strong. But those are the things that are trending right now in the digital ad space. And, of course, like, if you want to know more about that, my book just dropped, 7 Marketing Plays, where I outline strategies to make more money online. So,
Say the book again.
7 Marketing Plays.
Say my book just dropped.
Yeah, my book just dropped, 7 Marketing Plays, a guide to growing your business in the digital age, where I outline strategies to make more money online. And that's available at stevemurrayconsulting.com, and it's also available on Amazon.
Fire, bro. I love those answers, man. This is one of my favorite parts of the podcast. Is just, again, being able to let y'all walk away with some of these gems, that some people pay very good money for in terms of consulting and giving tools and tips to the trade. But like I said, we want y'all to walk away with that. So that's a big part of what this is. For me, man, there's a couple things. For anybody with a Shopify store, one of the apps that we've been seeing work really well with a lot of clients is called Reconvert. They haven't given me an affiliate code or a check yet, but I'm gonna just go ahead and throw them.
Yeah, I don't even know Reconvert, so go ahead.
So what Reconvert does, man, it's really dope. Like, it automates the upsells, right? So like, if somebody has a cart and they're about to check out or finish an order, it'll build basically like an automated flow, right? Like within the checkout process, let's say I buy a t-shirt, it'll take another one of the t-shirts or another one of the products from the site, and it'll give me like a timer, like a discounted offer on that shirt or that item just for like 3 minutes or whatever. Like a sale that doesn't usually happen, it'll take that and it basically automates the whole upselling process. So, like sometimes people do upsells after they purchase.
Yeah.
It automates that process during the purchase process. So like it'll take another product, it'll say, hey, we saw that you like this dress, get this other dress half off, but only for right now. While it's in the cart.
In the thing.
Yeah, right? And
What's that called?
It's called Reconvert.
Okay.
Man, we've seen that do, so what it does is it increases the average order value tremendously.
Talk that talk, Dom. Average order value shit.
Yeah, you know.
You think he's smart around this?
Yeah, listen. So if you want to increase that, because that way you can able to pay more to acquire the users, right? So shout out to Reconvert. It's an amazing Shopify app. The other thing that I would say, I'm glad you brought up broad targeting with Facebook ads. Something that I've been seeing do really, really well, and especially for people that are above 20, 30K a month, is email automations, but like getting more segmented and more specific with your email automations. So yeah, you got a welcome flow, you got to add to cart, you got to abandon cart, but like Start really getting deeper with your email automations. Happy birthday. Oh, I saw you bought this product. Get this for half off. Like, and not just emails, but text messages. Text messages, SMS marketing. A lot of people don't want to do it because it costs money. But please, y'all.
It makes money.
Yes, like these text messages, if you can master text message marketing, send them to the people that are most engaged, that spend the most money with you. Send specific discounts to people who are on your text list. That's what my second general note would be, like segmentation with the text and with the emails, beyond the basics. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you bought this product. Hey, this was in your cart 2 months ago. Add it for 10% off or something like that. Like, get more specific and more segmented with the way that you send in those messages on emails and on text, and use Reconvert. That's 2 free gems I'm gonna give. For the other ones, y'all can follow me and follow the Longtail Launchpad. And check the link in my bio for, I do a free masterclass every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Always feel free to join that free masterclass if you want to learn more about the Launchpad. We look forward to y'all joining the community.
Let me give them a bonus. Let me give them a bonus real quick.
Okay.
Here's the bonus, and this bonus.
Hold on real quick.
All right, we're gonna wrap.
All right, camera speed.
Me go.
All right.
All right,
He in
then.
frame. He in frame.
Pull your shoes back.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not in frame.
'Cause you
I'm
got
the
your shit
in frame
extended.
guy. The fuck?
All right, come on. We ready?
Yeah, bro.
So the bonus that I want to add to what you said about text marketing, if you don't have a text or email list, you always could use Facebook ads to actually develop an email list. So let's say you create a campaign with leads as the objective. You then incentivize people to sign up to your email subscriber list by creating a Facebook ad campaign that says like, hey, are you interested in jewelry? I want to give you 20% off your first order and possibly enter you into sweepstakes to win 2 free plane tickets to the Bahamas this week only if you subscribe to my email list. Whatever it is, it could be any incentive. Some type of incentive where people have to add their real information, but it has to be good enough where they add their real info. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll get a bunch of dead contacts. Get that, run that ad campaign. Maybe you spend $1,000, get 5,000, 10,000 emails. I think a good subscriber list always has a minimum of 10,000 subscribers on both email and text. Otherwise, it's a little bit of like, you got to work to build that up. It should be bigger than that, but for a good start, I think you got to have 10 grand. Then, you go from there, and then you could start to run some of the email and text campaigns like you're talking about. But I wanted to give that bonus for people who don't have a subscriber base and are wondering, how do I build a subscriber base?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I think this was an amazing first episode.
Man,
I love sitting down with you, bro.
My boy.
For the people out there, man, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Steve's channel, to my channel, and to our shared channel for the platform.
Absolutely.
We look forward to doing this again and doing this continuously. I want to shout out our production partner, Roger, Shooters Club, and the team over there for helping us with the shoot.
Yeah.
And, I'll just say on my end, I look forward to doing this again, man, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I also want people to take note to something. Don has an agency, I have an agency. He has a course, I have a course coming up, and a book that I'm working on. Collaboration over competition.
Absolutely.
And make sure you subscribe and hit that like, share, and bell
All
button.
of the buttons.
All the buttons, the podcast.
Keep it going, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We up out of here.
That was all right.
Good. Yeah. We got some good shit.
Yeah.